Okay, today we are going to do inequalities. Suppose you're given this type of inequality. How would you solve this? You should subtract 2x both sides, right? And also add 5 both sides. 7 plus 5 will give you 12. 5x minus 2x will give you 3x. And now you divide by 3 and you get x 4 or greater, right? You don't have to do this during the exam, but you can opt to check whether your answer is correct or not. So give me something that's 4 or greater. 4 or 5, right? So plug in, let's say we picked 5. What do you get on the left side if x is 5? 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. Whereas 5 times 5 is 25 minus 5 is 20. Is 20 greater than 17? Yes. So is this correct?
Yes.
For x equals to 5? Yes. So that's like one way to check if you did the inequality correctly or not. Okay? Now when you have such an answer, you have to know two things. First, you have to know how to graph it. So to graph x is 4 or greater, think about the number lines 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Goes like that. And then here's 4. And everything after 4 is a solution. That's how you graph it. And one important thing is, I'm circling this in, so it's a filled-in circle. And such a circle is a closed circle. I call it closed circle. And we use the closed circle if that endpoint is included. So as somebody noted, this solution includes 4. 4 is a possible solution, right? In fact, if you plug in 4 left and right, you see that both sides give you the same answer, so this inequality is still satisfied. So that's what you use. Now, if your answer comes out as 4 and then a strict inequality, in that case, you should be using an open circle. I'll do that example next. Okay. So this is how you graph it. And also you need to know how to write this in interval notation. So in interval notation, interval notations use two kinds of brackets. So one is a square bracket, and the other is a round bracket. This square looking like straight bracket, that one is going to be called closed bracket. Whereas this side will be called, this round bracket will be called open bracket. Anytime the end point is included, you have to use the closed bracket. And as you can see, this solution starts from 4, including 4. That's why we use the closed bracket. And it extends until infinity, right? So we go to infinity. That's why I'm putting infinity. However, whenever you have infinity or negative infinity, you always use the open bracket because infinity and negative infinity are not numbers. Those are not actual numbers. Those are concepts where it's not, it's bigger than any number. Okay? Okay. So let's do a similar question, second one, example 2. Suppose this time you have 3x minus 8 strictly greater than 7x plus 4. Yeah, okay. So let's try to solve this one. How does that work? Well, subtract 3x both sides. And then we have subtract 4. So that gives you negative 12 greater than 4x, which solves as x less than negative 3. Right? I should really divide both sides by 4 and say this is negative 3 greater than x. But whether you write it this way or that way, it's the same thing, right?
So are you end up subtracting 4 again?
What did you say?
Are you end up subtracting 4 again?
How do you know why I'm subtracting 4? Was that the
how you end up doing it again?
doing?
You divide it.
I divided by 4. I didn't subtract 4.
Alright.
Yeah. I just wanted to explain why I got this one. I got it by dividing by 4 both sides. And negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. All right? Okay? And in terms of the picture, here's negative 3. And since negative 3 is not included, you use an open circle, and you go this way. Okay. Can you express this solution as an interval notation? How do you write it? Negative infinity up till negative 3. Okay, square bracket or round one?
Round.
It's round because it's open circle. The negative 3 itself is not included. This is a strict inequality, which indicates that negative 3 shouldn't be included. Example 3. Let's do something like negative 2 over 3x greater than 5 over 6. Okay. Let me try out two solutions. Let me show you this first solution. What I'm going to do with the first solution is I'm going to multiply by 6 both sides. Now, why would I want to multiply by 6? Yes?
I said about to get rid of the 6.
Get rid of the 6 because I hate denominators, right? We don't like denominators. They make things look awful. Like fractions scare us, right? So if you multiply by 6, that goes away. But not only that, this 3 goes away as well, because what is 6 divided by 3? 2. So 6 and 3 can be canceled to leave you with this 2. Okay. Now let me just take a brief moment to explain this further. See, if you have negative 2/3 x times 6, this is really like negative 2 divided by 3, but division by 3 is same as multiplication by its reciprocal, right? Division is same as multiplication by reciprocal. You know that, right? Okay, so think of negative 2 divided by 3 as negative 2 times 1/3 times x times 6. Okay. If you take this point of view, then multiplication is commutative and associative, which means that multiplication can be done in any order, right? And I think there's the easiest one to do first. These two. Those two are the easiest one to do, because what is 6 divided by 3? 2, right? So you end up with negative 2 times 6 over 3, which is 2, times x, so it's negative 2 times x, which is negative 4. x. Okay? That makes the calculation a lot easier. Yeah, so I know that some of you have still trouble with fractions, but anytime you do a fraction, just remember that division is same as multiplication by the reciprocal, and you should be able to freely move things around. And that helps you with mental math. I stress this a lot, but it still needs to be stressed. If you want to do well in math, try to train your mind to do mental math. Right? When you see this, you should be able to say, oh, 6 divided by 3 is 2, so the left side is just negative 4x greater than 5. Now how do you solve this? You divide by negative 4, right? So you're going to divide by negative 4. But because this is an inequality, there's something else you have to do. What is it?
Change the sign.
You have to change the direction of the inequality. You have to flip the direction of the inequality. And we should make a note here. Note, anytime there is multiplication or division by a negative number, the inequality must be flipped. Okay. Direction of the inequality has to change. If A is greater than B, then negative A will be less than negative B. If 1 is less than 3, which is true, right? What's the relationship between negative 1 and negative 3? Negative 1 is greater, right? So whenever you have an inequality, multiplying by a negative flips the inequality. So that's why you need that. And then finally, you cancel the negative 4's, which gives you x less than negative 5 over 4. That's one solution. Now let me give you the second solution, which is quicker. You can just take the original inequality and just divide by this entire thing. X equals to x greater than, because this is a negative, you have to flip the inequality, so x is less than 5 over 6 divided by negative 2 over 3. Okay? But then now the problem is, how do you divide by a fraction?
Subtract.
Huh?
Keep, change, flip.
Keep, change, flip. Yes, that's correct. So this over here, you have to keep the first, change the division to multiplication, and you flip this fraction, which is negative 3 over 2. So you have to do keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. And once again, you can use the same argument. Pull the minus out, and 3 and 6 can be canceled. You can cancel the 3 and the 6, which gives you 2 here, and this will be 1. 3 over 6 is the same as 1 over 2. Now you have negative 5 over 2 times 2, which is 4. Now this keep change idea is nothing else than what I just explained. What is division? Division is same as multiplication by its reciprocal. So if you agree with that statement that I said earlier, then this is nothing surprising. It's also known as keep, change, flip. Okay, so you can see either way you get the same answer, negative 5 over 4. What's the picture? Negative 5 over 4. By the way, you don't really have to mark all the points on the number line when you draw these. You can just write down the number that's relevant. So I'm just going to put -5/4, and then it's a strict inequality. So should I put a closed circle or open circle? Open circle. Should I go left or right? Left, because x is less, right? So we go left, and therefore, what is this interval? Negative infinity up till -5/4. So that's the answer in interval notation. This is the graphical way of writing things, and this will be the answer in terms of an inequality.